as we continue to talk about failing companies and failing, tumbling portfolios, there's none other than Tesla, which I already mentioned is down 50% since December. As we know, Elon Musk is the real president. He's basically attached to Donald Trump at the hip. They go everywhere together. They even do commercials together. That's right, folks. In front of the White House, Donald Trump said he was not only going to buy a Tesla, but he encouraged everybody else to buy a Tesla because Elon is just so great. It really was a gold medal performance in dick riding.
Trump, are you looking to buy or lease today?
Well, I'm going to buy, and I'm going to buy because number one, it's a great product, as good as it gets, and number two, because
I do want to say this. Teslas are objectively just not good vehicles. The technology is fine, and like the software is fine, but in terms of a car, it is so fucking trash. It's billed as a luxury vehicle. Meanwhile, all of the trim is fucking plastic. My Camry has a plastic fucking interior, but it's cuz it's a Camry. There's also the whole thing about if you get into an accident in a Tesla, you basically just have to get a new car because the vehicle is just like one fucking piece. It's just such a poorly designed car.
this man has devoted his energy and his life to doing this, and I think he's been treated very unfairly by a very small group of people. And I just want people to know that you can't be penalized for being a patriot, and he's a great patriot. And he's also done an incredible job with Tesla, and I mean, nobody else has a car company started up in the last 30 years that's been successful. I don't think so. And not only successful, but super successful.
China has a whole bunch of EV manufacturers that popped up over the last couple of decades that are performing exceedingly well in China. It could also be the fact that, I don't know, maybe that the whole fucking automotive industry is just one giant mafia where like 3 car companies control all of the fucking car brands.
Successful, and because he's able to find billions and billions and billions of dollars of fraud and waste and all of the things. I mean, our country is going to be very strong very soon because of a lot of the things that he's done and a lot of the things that I'm doing. And there's no better team, but there's no better for what we're doing. There's nobody like this, and he shouldn't be penalized.
No, I think he should be.
I
think he should be. I think that he should probably be in prison for the amount of fraud that he's done, for just like ripping off the taxpayer. Whatever happened with Hyperloop? Whatever happened with the Boring Company? Do you remember when Elon Musk said that that fully autonomous self-driving would be here by now, and yet Teslas still fucking act as a predator missile when you put on self-driving mode? There was also that Tesla sports car that he said he was going to manufacture and took deposits for, and that never fucking happened. For everyone watching, I do just want to point out this little piece of paper that President Trump is holding. When I said this was an ad, I was not kidding. He's holding notes about the various Tesla models because all 3 Tesla models were present. It was the Model X is the sedan, the Model Y is the SUV, I think, and the Cybertruck. They were all lined up in front of the White House. And Donald Trump was giving price information, financing information on all of these vehicles. He literally did this with the express purpose of not only boosting Elon's sales, but also boosting the stock price. One of the really interesting fallouts from this is there are now a bunch of MAGA influencers who have since come into the possession of a Tesla, and we don't know if they were gifted these Teslas or if they're fucking stupid enough. I changed the word stupid because I'm stealing Hassan Piker's take on this, and he used the word malleable, but he did present a really fascinating point. Like, did they go out and buy these because they're that fucking dumb, or were they gifted them? It's also really ironic that conservatives and Trump in particular have been so anti-EV for so long that they're woke and gay and that they're like you're the virgin EV driver versus the Chad Diesel driver, and now here they are selling electric vehicles. Like, listen, guys, you can buy all of the electric vehicles you want. Maybe buy some solar panels too. Maybe just like totally stop buying fucking gas powered cars in general. I think that would be sick. Now, there have been discussions about whether or not this violates the Hatch Act, since this is basically product placement. And as you would expect, the president and the vice president are excluded from that. Conservatives have also tried to make the point like, oh, well, Joe Biden drove a Jeep around the White House. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, was the fucking CEO of Jeep present feeding him talking points about financing information? It's not a direct comparison. This is straight up an ad, dude. President Trump said Tuesday he was buying a Tesla vehicle as he doubled down on his support of Elon, who has come under mounting scrutiny for leading the Trump administration's government cost initiatives. They're not finding any fraud, by the way. They're just they're just nullifying contracts that have already been paid. Quote, I'm going to buy one because number one, it's a great product, as good as it gets. Number two, because this man has devoted his life and energy to doing this, and I think he's been treated quite unfairly, Trump told reporters. Trump delivered remarks alongside Musk and his son just hours after he first announced on social media he would buy a Tesla in support of the tech entrepreneur. Multiple Teslas, or Teslers, as Trump called them, included the Cybertruck model, were parked outside the White House. Tesla stock has plummeted more than 50% since last year and has suffered its largest drop in more than 4 years on Monday. It follows a string of protests at Tesla's warehouses across the country from demonstrators calling out Musk's leadership of Trump's Department of Government Efficiency and the mass layoffs and spending cuts associated with it. Teslas have been vandalized. There were supercharger stations in France that were burned. It's really fucking sick, actually. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I think Elon Musk is the fucking devil. And if you want to draw a penis on a Cybertruck, that's your prerogative. I really don't care whether you do or or not. What frightens me more is Elon taking even more taxpayer money to fund or to keep his companies alive. That's what really worries me. Because, for instance, he was talking about getting rid of the FAA's contract with Verizon and giving it to Starlink. They were also talking about buying $400 million worth of armored Cybertrucks before the Trump administration axed that idea because it was a blatant conflict of interest. Some Teslas have been vandalized on the streets, while some Tesla owners have put bumper stickers displaying messages like, I bought this before he became a Nazi. Trump floated the idea of labeling violence at Tesla dealerships as domestic terrorism. I believe he actually implemented that. When asked about some of the suggestions that some of the violent protesters should be labeled as domestic terrorists, Trump responded, I will do that. I'll do it. I'm going to stop them. Musk acknowledged the toll his political career has taken on his business empire, telling Fox Business host Larry Kudlow in a Monday interview he has been overseeing Tesla and SpaceX with, quote, great difficulty. Trump touted the work of Doge and Musk on Tuesday, telling reporters, I just want people to know that you can't be penalized for being a patriot, and he's a great patriot, and he's also done an incredible job with Tesla. I mean, nobody, yeah, he said all this already. Trump later sat in a red Tesla Model X and said, that's beautiful. He later pointed to the model and stated that it was his pick. He said, everything's computer. Wow, folks, everything is computer. You get in this car and everything is computer. Musk and the president also walked to a Cybertruck, during which Musk remarked the car is bulletproof. Trump clarified he will not be driving the Tesla because he is not permitted to drive, but he will allow his staff at the White House to use it. Musk also announced Tesla plans to double its vehicle output in the United States within the next 2 years, calling it an act of faith in America. And I'm sure that's, of course, going to be taxpayer funded. Some investors have called out Musk for spending more time in Washington to work on Doge at the expense of his other companies. This guy, like, didn't even fucking work at these companies. He's playing Diablo and shit. When asked if he could remain CEO of Tesla while working with Trump, Musk said, "Yeah, I am CEO of Tesla," and yeah, wow. Very, very convincing. Musk later said that he would quote stay as long as it's useful when asked how long he plans to work with the government. Shouldn't he like have to be forced to step down from these companies? I understand that he's not an official government employee, so therefore not beholden to the same standard, but if this guy is attached to the ball sack of the president, I think that he should be forced to at least not oversee these companies, because it is the most fucking flagrant conflict of interest that he is not only the CEO of Tesla and Starlink and SpaceX, but that he is also like laundering money to these fucking companies.
Who's your team?
We're a little over.
Here's a little bit of this interview that Elon did on Fox where he got fucking glazed like crazy.
100 at this point.
100.
Get to 200.
You're going to get to 200.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're recruiting from where? More or less.
Basically, it's software people, information security software people, and finance. You know, it's basically, yeah, finance and technology. I mean, frankly, I can't believe I'm here doing this. It's kind of bizarre, but
Bro, you're
I kind of think
a
that the
fucking interview on TV
Yep.
with I don't even know who the fuck Larry Kudlow is. You're on Fox Business, and he's like, I can't believe I'm here doing this. Unless he's talking about being in the government, which is possible, but still, like, dude, grow up.
we've got this enormous federal budget deficit, and it's a $2 trillion deficit. It keeps growing. Our interest payments are higher than our Defense Department budget. That's I think was the real wake-up call for me, was looking at seeing that the interest payments on national debt exceeded the Defense Department budget. And that was only growing over time, which meant if we didn't do something about this, then there won't be any money for anything. We'll just be servicing debt.
And you know how to read an income statement.
This is like, what is he even saying? How do you even argue this point? You're not saving any money, Elon. You're canceling contracts that have already been paid out. Every time Doge cuts costs, it's like $2 million, $750,000. It is so bad that they had to lie about saving $8 million and instead said they saved $8 billion. Oh my God, I'm so fucking...
And you know how to read a balance sheet. You've had some business experience. I'm kidding, but
Yeah.
you know about this stuff.
He did not, he did not get the joke. He's so awkward. I think, actually, no, I lied. I don't think Elon Musk should go to jail. His punishment for being a con man and a fraudster is that he just has to do multiple interviews every day because he is so visibly uncomfortable when he is on camera.
Yeah, I mean, really, I just don't want America to go bankrupt.
So it's a call to action. You're hearing a call.
Also, okay. You're a businessman. You can read a balance sheet, can't you? His fucking companies cannot function without government subsidy, okay? First and foremost, Elon Musk would be nothing if not for the United States taxpayer. When it comes to PayPal, he just fucking bought into it. He wasn't a founder of it. He just got lucky. Starlink, Tesla, SpaceX, again, government funded. Tesla only recently, like a couple of years ago, started turning a profit. Twitter, his biggest purchase, has seen its revenue drop 50% since he took it over. This guy is not an astute businessman.
Action.
Yeah.
You giving up your other stuff? I mean, how are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty. Yeah, I mean,
But there's no turning back.
God. With great difficulty. Yeah. Listen, I know that my noise gate is not the best, and sometimes, you hear me like taking a sip of a drink or whatever, but this is horrible. We are actually hearing the saliva swishing around in his mouth.
You're saying.
I'm just here trying to make government more efficient, eliminate waste and fraud, and so far we're making good progress, actually. So our
Lie.
Savings at this point exceed $4 billion a day. So it's quite significant.
No, wee woo. They've saved like $5 billion in total. It has not been $4 billion a day. Oh my God. It's a flagrant lie. $4 billion a day is just fucking not true. This is courtesy of the Doge website. In all, Doge listed a total of 2,334 canceled contracts on its latest wall of receipts, with the savings from those contracts amounting to $8.8 billion. I was a little wrong. I apologize. Okay, I'm sorry that I undersold Doge's cutting of quote unquote waste, fraud, and abuse by $4 billion.
You think you'll wind up getting to $1 trillion?
No.
Yeah.
Of savings?
No.
I mean, unless
No. Impossible. You're not. Hear me out. Stay with me now. You are not saving $1 trillion in federal funds unless you cut virtually every aspect of the government. There's no other way to put it. Medicaid, gone, which they're trying to do, obviously. Medicare, gone. Social Security, gone. Even though Social Security doesn't add to the debt, they can still chalk it up as savings. SNAP, gone. Literally, every fucking program that benefits low and middle income earners would have to be gone. That's how Elon Musk would save $1 trillion. The United States federal government is a multi-trillion-dollar enterprise. Not an enterprise. It's a multi-trillion-dollar apparatus because it needs to be. There's 335 million fucking people that live here that come from various socioeconomic backgrounds, that live in various different kinds of conditions, that make a wide array of money, who need some of these essential services that Elon is looking to cut. There's just no fucking way that this guy makes $1 trillion in cuts without people flooding the streets to protest.
Unless we're stopped, we will get to $1 trillion of savings.
And that stuff can be translated. I mean, we've been talking, we had Russell Vogt, the OMB director, on earlier, through very rescission authority, impoundment authority. I believe you said it earlier, it's an audit that will not gather dust on shelves. This is actually going to wind up with real savings, bend the spending baseline down.
Yeah. There have been many good audits, like I said, done by inspector generals and by Government Accountability Office, and they just haven't been implemented. Nothing's been done.
What the fuck are you saying, champ? They do their job better than you do. It's still funny that the Department of Government Efficiency is a redundant agency. I think that's the funniest part of all of this, is that Elon is part of a new agency to do the same thing that one already does.
I think the GAO identified that there were 17 million dead people in the Social Security database several years ago. It's now 20 million, but nobody did anything about it.
What?
And
I think we could sort of look at this as a complaint minimization optimization. So basically,
it doesn't matter if there's 20 million dead people in the Social Security database. They're not getting paid. There are no Social Security payments being made to dead people. There's like 68 million Social Security beneficiaries right now. And Elon, because he doesn't know how to read a fucking database, I don't either, but I'm not a fucking programmer, thought that there were 300 million people receiving benefits just because they were in that database.
if the government sends money out to, whether it's wasteful or fraudulent, nobody complains if they receive money. But they do complain if they don't receive money. And the people that complain the loudest are the ones receiving the fraudulent money.
That's you, buddy. Elon, you receive money from the government. And you cried when you didn't get it. Again, circle back to the FAA's contract with Verizon.
And you're on it.
Yeah.
No. Yes, very convincing. Very convincing. Yeah. Me in 7th grade, coming home from school and my mom asking if I had it, if I performed well on the test I took on Monday. Yeah. It's just, he is literally a blithering idiot. He is a straight up court jester. And it would be a lot funnier if he were not connected to the government. It would be infinitely funnier if Elon just like took this up by himself and was so adamant about getting into the White House, and Trump was just like, "No. What are you doing? Get the fuck out of here. Like, leave me alone. You're annoying."
So the goal here is let's not have America go bankrupt with waste and fraud.
America's not going bankrupt, you fucking cretin.
So that's what I'm here for, and we're making good progress.
Yes, you are. You're going to go another year?
No.
Yeah, I think so.
No, he's not going to make it.
Final report, middle of next year?
Well, we're just getting things done as opposed to writing a report. Like say, reports don't mean anything. You got to actually take action.
Yes.
He said that Doge was transparent, and when confronted with transparency, he goes, "Nah, I don't need a report. I'm doing things, bro. I'm doing things. I don't need a report. I'm just getting shit done."
So the waste report in entitlement spending, which is which is most of the federal spending is entitlements. So
yes,
that's
entitlements like Social Security that you pay into, that I pay into, that you, the viewer, pay into is an entitlement. But the $40 billion that Elon Musk gets from the government is not an entitlement.
Like the big one to eliminate is that's the sort of $500 billion, maybe $700 billion a year. That is also a mechanism by which the Democrats attract and retain illegal immigrants by essentially paying them to come here and then turning them into voters.
That's not true. That's just a lie. Immigrants cannot collect Social Security despite the fact, well, immigrant undocumented immigrants cannot collect Social Security despite the fact that they pay into it. Undocumented immigrants pay into Medicaid and they receive on average the same in benefits as naturalized citizens. The idea that undocumented immigrants are coming into this country, are being paid to come into this country, is just like, it's just a lie. It's just a racist lie.
Yes.
So this is why the Democrats are so upset about the situation, because they're losing. If we turn off this gigantic money magnet for illegal immigrants, then they will leave, and they will lose voters.
But you have President.
He's an immigrant. He came here as an illegal immigrant. His fucking brother narked on him. Elon fled apartheid South Africa to Canada before coming to the US to avoid mandatory military service. He came to this country illegally. Democrats are not fucking paying immigrants in any way, shape, or form. This idea is just it's a fucking lie. He's not even a good liar. I think back to the tweet I saw about how the end of civilization, about how we're experiencing like the fall of our empire, but yet none of the people leading this fall are cool in any way, shape, or form. Like, these guys are just fucking greasy, stinky losers. Elon Musk is built like a fucking milk carton, and he is dragging us into the throes of fascism.